Hello friends, now we see the next part of unit 2nd, rectifiers and power supplies, part 3, full wave bridge rectifier. Concept of full wave bridge rectifier. A rectifier using a diode bridge that allows the unidirectional DC current to flow through the load during the entire period of input AC cycle is called bridge rectifier. A rectifier using a diode bridge that allows the unidirectional means DC current to flow through the load during the entire period of input AC cycle is called bridge rectifier. This is the diagram of bridge rectifier. Here the transformer is there. From this transformer input power supply is given. Here it is the transformer secondary. Here is our bridge formed by diode D1, D2, D3 and D4, and here is the load resistance RL. Circuit details. A figure shows that the circuit diagram of full wave bridge rectifier. It uses 4 PN junction diode D1, D2, D3 and D4 arranged in the form of bridge, which are connected to the secondary winding of the transformer. The load RL is connected in series with the bridge. The input AC voltage to be rectified is applied to the primary winding of a transformer. The rectified output voltage is taken across the load RL. So here two diode D1, D2, D3 and D4 diodes are there. Here it is the load resistance RL is there. This is again here how the circuit will work. Operating principle. During the positive input half cycle, the secondary voltage, the upper end of the transformer secondary become positive. This upper end it will become positive with respect to the lower end. Means this lower end it will becomes negative. This lower end it will become negative. At the same time this upper end it will become positive. That makes the point 1 of the bridge rectifier positive with respect to the lower point 2. Therefore here point 1 it will become positive, at the same time point 2 it will becomes negative. The diode D2 and D4 becomes forward bias, whereas diode D1 and D3 becomes reverse bias. So here diode D2 and D4 they are in forward bias because the positive is connected to anode. Here we say that the positive is connected to anode, and at the same time here we say that the negative is connected to cathode. If we say that here diode D1 and D2 these two are there, and here it is D3 and D4, again we see here it is properly seen. So diode D1 and D2 and D3. So here we say that diode D2 and D4 they are in forward bias, and at the same time diode D3 and D1 and D3 they are in reverse bias. As a result of diode D2 and D4 they conduct same current, some current, whereas a diode D1 and D2 do not conduct the current. Why? Because diode D1 and D3 are in reverse bias. At the same time diode D2 and D4, here it is D4, they are in forward bias. Therefore some current will flow through it. Therefore a current start flowing through the secondary winding from point 1 through D2, RL and D4 to the negative point 2. This makes the end 3 of the load positive with respect to end 4. A voltage is developed across the load RL due to the flow of current through it. This voltage looks like the positive half cycle of the input cycle as shown in figure. So here is the AC input. Diode D1 and D3 like this. Diode D2 and D4 are like this. Here we say that diode D1 and D2 are D4 are conduct, D2 and D3 will not conduct. Therefore out of this for one you will get half cycle, and out of this two you will get one half cycle, and therefore the total output voltage you will get full wave. and it is in unidirectional, it is in one direction. During the negative input half cycle of the secondary voltage, the lower end cube of the transformer secondary becomes positive with respect to the power end P. This makes the point 2 of the bridge positive with respect to point 1. Now, during negative half cycle, the polarities will change. Point 1 will become negative, and at the same time, point 2 it will become positive. The diode D1 and D3 becomes forward bias, whereas the diode D2 and D4 becomes reverse bias. As a result, the diodes D1 and D3 conduct some current, whereas diode D2 and D4 do not conduct the current. Therefore, the current starts flowing through the secondary winding from point 2 through D3 load resistance RL diode D1 to the negative point 1. This makes the end 3 of the load positive with respect to end 4. The voltage is developed across the load RL due to the flow of current through the it. This voltage also looks like positive half of the input cycle as shown in figure C. So again here it is the input AC signal. Due to the diode D1 and D2, the current will flow like this. Due to the diode D2 and D4, the current will flow like this, and the total output current during the negative half cycle is like this. Output waveform. The sinusoidal AC input signal VI waveform is shown in figure A is applied to the bridge rectifier. This is the sinusoidal input voltage VI is given shown in figure A. The output DC voltage V01 forms due to the conduction of diode D2 and D4 is shown in figure B. Similarly, the output DC voltage V02 waveform due to the conduction of diode D1 and D3 is shown in figure C. The waveform of output voltage V0 due to the conduction of all four diodes D1, D2, D3 and D4 is shown in figure D. The voltage across the secondary winding is Vs equal to Vm sin omega t. Peak inverse voltage. The reverse voltage across the non-conducting diode D1 or D3 is also Vm. Thus, peak inverse voltage PIV equal to Vm. Output DC voltage. The bridge rectifier has both the half cycle of secondary voltage as a central tap of full wave rectifier. Therefore, the average or DC voltage will be VDC equal to 2 Vm upon pi. DC output current. The DC current through the load RL is given by IDC equal to VDC upon RL equal to 2 Vm upon pi RL equal to 2 Im upon pi. So this is the DC output current. And RMS load current. The RMS value of the load current is given by IRMS equal to Im upon root 2. Ripple factor. The output voltage developed across load URL is only a steady DC but contains alternating components only. The ripple factor is given by R equal to under root 1 I square RMS upon I DC square minus 1 equal to Im upon root 2 upon 2 Im upon pi bracket square minus 1 R equal to, therefore Im will getting cancelled, pi square upon 4 minus 1 or is equal to under root pi square is 3.14 square upon 4 minus 1 or R equal to 0.482 or 48.2%. Thus the ripple factor of a center tap full wave rectifier is 48.2%. Rectification efficiency. The rectification efficiency is a ratio of DC output power delivered to the load to the AC input power of the from the transformer secondary, that is eta is equal to PDC upon PAC. PDC means DC output power, PAC means AC input power. Since PDC equal to IDC into RL, therefore 2 Im upon pi into RL, PAC equal to I square RMS into RF plus RL, that is Im upon 2 Im upon root 2 RF plus RL. Therefore, eta equal to PDC upon PAC equal to 2 Im pi up bracket square into RL upon Im upon root 2 bracket square into RF plus RL. That is Im will getting cancelled. Therefore, 2 root 2 upon pi bracket square into RL upon RF plus RL. Thus, eta equal to 8 upon pi square into 1 upon 1 plus Rf upon RL, that is 8 upon 9.86 into 1 upon 1 plus Rf plus RL, that is 0.812 upon 1 plus Rf upon RL. The rectification efficiency is maximum if RL is greater than Rf. Thus, eta equal to 0.812 or 81%. Applications. It is used as a high current power supply. This bridge rectifier, it is used in high current power supplies. It is used in laboratory DC power supplies. It is used in battery charger. It is used in DC power supply used for various electronic circuit. The bridge rectifier is mostly widely used as a full wave rectifier because of the following reason. It does not require center tap secondary winding transformer. It is stepping up or stepping down of voltage is not required, then we may even achieve rectification without the transformer. The peak inverse voltage of each diode is equal to peak secondary voltage Vm. This is the fact of virtual vital importance of high DC voltage is required. If TUF is very high, thus this lead to the maximum conversion of AC power to the DC power. Okay, thank you.